And we're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 210 of Fans of Power. I'm Joe Amato, and I'm here with Nathan Kennedy, and we're being joined by a special guest from the podcasters of the universe, Jeremy DeWitt. How you doing, sucker? Or Jeremy, how you doing?
Oh, you're gonna start off just like that, huh?
Nah, I wouldn't do that to you.
Shooting at me. I'm okay, man. It's a nice lazy Sunday, and I'm excited to talk about some Masters stuff with y'all. So,
oh, lazy Sunday, lazy character. It's like perfect. It's hand in hand. It works.
It's me. Like if I had a spirit animal, it would be a sloth. So, yeah.
And that's the thing, because Nathan was like, he was like, hey, Jeremy wants to be on the show. He's like, what do you think of that? I was like, oh, God, we can't have him on this show. I was like, well, let me just go ahead and contact Jeremy. I was like, hey, Jeremy, would you like to be on the show? And he was like, well, I don't know if I could be on this Sunday. I was like, well, fuck off then. You're not going to be on the show. That's it.
Yeah, really, I was like, I don't know if I want to drop myself down to that level of Joe Amato.
Exactly. This is entering the trash universe right here with me.
Yes.
But I'm going to keep it clean. I won't cuss this episode. I know I said a couple words earlier, but you won't hear no more.
Bullshit, Joe.
It's gonna happen. Didn't he already blow that out of the water?
Yeah, you already cussed earlier. He already forgot about it. His short-term memory's bad. It's fine. It's all right.
It's bad. It's really bad. But we'll get into some stuff here in a second. But first, I got to acknowledge everybody that popped up in the chat room. I see Darth Baca, Michael Purvis, Zentron, Wiley Collector, Gary Buchanan, Grimbot, Adam Gabbert. I already said, Papa Hud 69. And I'm still scrolling up. There's Zen Brown. Ali Ox. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Ali Ox here. So thank you for joining us. And Jason Johnston. So I think I got everybody. If I missed anybody, I apologize. But of course, later in the show, you know how it goes. When we get to the Q&A, then you can all pop in, hit with any questions, and we'll do that. So, I'll pass it to Nathan, and you can say something to Jeremy if you want, what you want to say, and then we'll get going.
No, I don't have anything to say to Jeremy. So let's go ahead and get into the first topic of the show. No, this is actually
I'm done.
Like Jeremy and I are friends on Facebook, but this is the first time him and I have actually really interacted with one another. So it's kind of neat. Every time that we bring a guest on the show, that's usually the first time I've actually spoken to them.
Right. You're like, please be as cool as the texting we've had.
Right.
Oh, man. Don't want somebody to like, I'm just gruff in person now. And
I mean, once we're done with the show and Jeremy gets off of the call, I'll tell Joe to hang on and be like, let's never invite him back. Like, we can't do that anymore. Joe and your...
I'm surprised you guys agreed to have me on in the first place.
Me too.
I've seen what that guy posts. He's weird.
No, I'm sure it'll be good. Like I said, we're on during a Royal Rumble night, but if the normal fans are here, they'll be here on a replay. So either way, but we're going to start off at least talking with and I'd like to get your perspective because you already know me when I ramble this, and Nathan does too. But well, what a shocker! Did you guys hear the new Masters of the Universe?
I'm absolutely shocked.
The movie news. Did you hear that the movie's been pushed and it's not even on the schedule? Who would have thought it? But the thing is, this is what I like, is we've been doing this podcast for 5 years. And of course, people have seen me on Facebook for many more years, before that. But that's been this 17, 18-year limbo of, hey, there's a movie coming, and then nothing. And then it's coming, and canceled. So I would post on Facebook every time I would hear it. I'd do that meme where I was talking about, don't talk to me until you see, the green lit, and there's actors, and it's in production.
Yeah.
But some people would get mad, like, well, Joe, why are you being so mean about it? It's going to happen. I was like, no, I'm not being mean. I just can't get excited because we've been through this for years. But since the 5 years of doing this podcast, finally people are catching on. They're like, yeah, I think I know Joe's going to say something that's exactly right. Every time. You can't get excited when it just, it ain't going to happen. So Jeremy.
Well, they've been dangling a carrot for all these years. And it's like this time we actually got to like smell the carrot, like it tipped, it got right to our.
Yeah.
They're like, here we have a casting announcement. You're like, oh my god, they've never done that. I mean, they've said we want, or maybe this guy, or this guy's in talks,
right.
Blah blah blah. This was like, yes, I'm He-Man. So all the fans, like, what are you going to do? You're going to be like, oh my god, it's actually happening. Screw Joe Amato, he knows nothing. Here it is. And then, of course, and you don't hear anything. And then all of a sudden, to be determined, you're like, oh, of course.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be July, remember, of 2019 was when they were supposed to start the shooting of it.
Yeah.
And then, it just quietly, nothing was happening. Nobody was talking about it, but I would once in a while say, hey, it's July, it's past July, what's going on?
Yeah,
But
nothing
like,
at all.
right. And I mean, I guess the only thing that, at least if anything, positive is with the upcoming 2 cartoons, hopefully they can both be good for each perspective, audience. I'm sure the Kevin Smith one will be for the older fans. The Masters of the Universe one, the other one will probably be for the younger kids. But hopefully it'll be enough to resurge the property and the brand and the name to where if people got super excited and said, damn, these are both good, then maybe a movie eventually. But I still, again, I want a movie to happen. I've said it a million times, but I don't get excited no more until, like you said, the definite stuff's happening. They're in production. They're showing shooting behind the scenes. Then I'm like, okay, something could happen.
Well, that and the fact that, I mean, we all pretty much know the movie's not going to be what every single Masters of the Universe fan wants anyway.
No.
Because we're all over the place. Like, we all like the same characters, but just in different ways. So, I mean, putting out a movie, and plus they're going to do it completely different from what we want anyway, from most of us anyway. So, I mean, whatever. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm more excited, like you were saying, about those 2 cartoons. I think the Kevin Smith one, The Revelation, is going to be pretty sweet. I mean, at least he talked a good talk, is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
and
like, you could hope. I mean, I have faith in it. I mean,
yeah,
I'd like.
And the other one, we don't really know much yet. So, I mean...
Yeah. Well, it's like Grimbot said. Yeah, I mean, they make it. I mean, it's the intention, I'm assuming, could be kiddie. That's me just assuming, because like Grimbot was saying, why can't the cartoon just be for all ages? Which we've always said it before. The cartoon back in the day, Filmation, your kid, teenager, adults, everybody could get into it. It's like you shouldn't have to put categories. So I don't know. This is just assuming. But one other thing Grimbot did mention, I've seen people saying online, is you almost wonder if that casting of Noah Centineo, whatever his name is, for He-Man, if that could have been just like a little marketing stunt so it looked like he said they were doing something. You never know. But either way,
I mean,
it's just dead in the water again. It's just dead in the water. But Nathan, some of your thoughts with Jeremy with this too, because you haven't said that yet.
Oh, thanks, Joe and MOTU, for allowing me this opportunity to give my opinion.
Damn it. Oh, well, let me say that real quick. Since you said that, now I got every fucker over there on Facebook kicking on with that Joe Amo. I'm not finishing it.
Should.
They're doing it.
As they should. As they should, Joe.
That's what you do when you bitch. This is what happens.
Yes. Go ahead.
No, I think with it being sort of pushed off to the side, it starts to bring in more of the conversation, especially with both of the new animated shows being on Netflix. Now I feel like we need to start talking, is this sort of that shift that if we are getting a movie that it's going to be on Netflix and we're not getting it in theaters now. I feel like that those wheels are starting to go in motion of that's what's going to happen. As far as like the casting,
because they even rumored that, right?
Yeah.
Nathan, didn't they even rumor that?
It had been rumored, and I think like the longer it goes on without them saying anything about it, I think Noah Centineo will probably end up dropping out, and then we'll just sort of start all over, and then their thing will be like, all right, we're doing the movie, but it's going to be on Netflix here, and then casting and such from there.
Well, Sony's got a lot to lose if they keep dropping a bunch of bombs.
Right, yeah, and that's...
So I don't blame them, I guess, but...
That's part of the problem, too, because Sony has had an extremely difficult time these last few years of trying to churn out hits. It seems like everything that they've tried to do has just kind of smacked them in the face, and especially with the Spider-Man deal, where they kind of had to sort of flip-flop on that, where they're like, no, he's out of the MCU. Oh, no, wait, he's back in, because fans were rabid about it. It just seems like Sony can't do anything right, and it's honestly the best for the fans with this movie just being taken off the slate to begin with, because they need to concentrate on producing something that will be good, and maybe in the hands of Netflix, we would have a better chance over a theatrical release.
Yep, I agree with that for sure. I mean, I guess we'll find out if they got some more news, like coming to PowerCon this year or something, or if they unleash something before that. But they were supposed to like make this kind of a big deal, a year for the, dropping information about this movie and stuff. So the fact that it's kind of getting, pushed aside, you're like, what are they going to talk about then? But it is what it is, I suppose.
But I think that is what makes it good with, like I said, with having these 2 cartoons coming out, is at least there's some relevance, there's some buzz about Masters of the Universe. because with the movie now being out of the picture, at least maybe we can focus, everything and shift to these two cartoons and what that's going to be like. Again, if it could create the momentum somewhat of what it used to have, and then bringing the toys back, everything, hopefully if it starts just getting hot and it can bubble up, then maybe then people say, hey, Masters is getting hot again, maybe we could do the movie. And like you said, whether it goes to the theater or even Netflix, I don't know. I would just like, hopefully they treat it with some type of respect, because everybody keeps saying, what is the problem? Why can't you write this movie? They act like they're writing something brand new. And I've said a million times, like a broken record, we have over 30 years of history of so much stuff that you can pick and choose from. And which
but everybody
is
wants
why
to put their stamp on it.
Yeah, but they put a stupid stamp, and they do stuff to where they think, oh, this is point two. Oh, this is going to modernize it. This will make it great. It's like, no, there is no modernizing Masters of the Universe. It's fantasy. This is not Earth, so your modernizing makes no sense. It's irrelevant. And that's why when we get to the story that I'm discussing, there's a reason I chose this story. We've never talked about it before, but this Legend of Grayskull, it's showing how, at least the beginnings, you get a taste of things, which makes them think, okay, if you guys want to do something, would you freaking research?
Joe, stop trying to go back on that. It's done. It's over.
You're right. It makes it worse. Yeah, okay. But it does. It makes it worse when they're sitting there trying to do their own thing, and they have all these things. They have anything they can choose from. I mean, hell, even when the Mike Young Productions, when they did their cartoon, they did a great job. They went from source material. Yes, they added some tweaks and twists and did some stuff, but still, you felt like, okay, I know all these characters, I know the story, I understand it. And that's all you really have to do, so I don't know what the problem is, why they can't write this movie.
Well, and the other thing, too, and I want to go back and touch on, we're getting 2 animated shows. To me, even that feels too much, that they're wanting to just throw it all out there, out in the cold. At least toss one, see how it does, and then produce a second cartoon, and then produce a movie. That's usually how that stuff works. They think that they can just shove it down your throat and everything's going to be fantastic, but it's weird. Like, you need to...
I'm curious if this is a Mattel thing. Like, is it just them?
It very well could be with, what they're wanting to do in terms of the Classics line, as we know, is probably over. They're wanting to do the Origins in the stores, so it was weird that Mattel sort of, all right, we're going to start the Classics, and then they sort of walked away from it and almost just didn't care. Now all of a sudden they do, and that's kind of strange that they want to try to put their stamp back on it when they've sort of been away from it for a few years. I don't understand the thought process to any of this. I just hope that something is good. If I think I said this a few weeks back, if one of the 3 things, and we're probably not getting the movie anymore, but if one of those 2 shows could at least be good, then I think we take that as a victory, especially in today's Hollywood.
I'd say for sure. What's weird is, we had this big to-do about the revelations or whatever, and it comes out and everybody's freaking out about it, and then like a couple months later they're like, oh, and we also have this. And everybody's kind of like, huh? Some people still think it's like the same thing, and like they don't realize it's 2 separate things. And then like I think that one of them may get lost in the shuffle or something, because
do you think that's it? That two of them obviously is too much. Like, focus your attention on one, trying to make one very great, and hopefully it succeeds. Then you could try the other. But you're right. What if when these both come out, which I don't know the time frame, maybe it'll be a year apart, whatever. Yeah. But what if people who are just now getting back around and didn't know about either, and they say, hey, there's a new He-Man cartoon, and they go to the one that, let's say, says sucks, and they don't know there's another good one, and word of mouth starts getting around, the new He-Man cartoon sucks, and they don't realize, oh, they're talking about this one and not that one. I think it's just causing more confusion. It's like, it's too much, at least in my opinion. I don't know about you, but I think they should focus on one before going into 2 of them.
Me personally, it's not too much for me, because I know I'm going into it knowing that these are 2 separate things aimed for 2 different people or whatever. But your casual fan, or even people who have no clue, they may get confused. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I know that I won't. But I don't know. I don't understand their business strategy, getting rid of all this over here and then focusing on this, but then this isn't doing so well. Like, I don't know, man. It's a weird time. Like, it feels like there's this big renaissance of Master stuff, and there's all this build up, but then I feel like they're kind of like, it's too much at once for them to handle. So I guess we'll see what happens, but I don't know. I'm trying to remain positive.
That's all you kind of can do at the end of the day. Like, it's hard not to sort of worry about it, because look at how many other properties have gone through this similar thing. Like Ninja Turtles right now. At least to me personally, while kids may enjoy the new show and liked the Bay Turtles and Megan Fox as April O'Neil, and I don't know where my thought process. I hope something's good.
Yeah, I mean, there is that thing. If you get too much, I mean, you may just get a bunch of mediocre stuff at once. It would be nice to kind of focus on one thing and put your all into it, and give us something that it looks like they care about. So I mean, we'll see if that happens. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's that. I guess that part. At least we got that crap about the movie out of the way, because we had to touch it. We always have to touch that part. But now, speaking of touching, I got to touch something on real quick. But I don't want to.
Wait, what?
I don't know how I feel about this.
No,
I'm not over there.
Not like that.
Oh.
But we're gonna talk about this, and we're gonna get. And again, so you can read this on He-Man.org. You can find copies on eBay if you want to have a physical copy. But it's the story Legend of Grayskull. Now, the reason I chose this one, because I know some people will say, well, why don't you just choose it when it came from the UK magazine? I didn't do the UK magazine one itself, the other one, because that one had parts of the story in black and white. So I figured, well, when Nathan shows it, I know this one was all colored. And I know if Grimbot's still in the chat room, I think at some point for some of the stories they thought they used some weird color choices. I might be wrong on that. Like, they say, boy, that looks kind of weird. But either way, it's good to see this whole thing colored. But I've had this for maybe 5 years. When I started finding out about this stuff on eBay and all the different stories from UK, got me excited. So I've read it before, but I kind of first want to get Nathan, yours, and Jeremy's thoughts and opinions, at least on this story. Of course, how it starts, but just your thoughts. Because like I said, it's kind of introducing, in a way, people to the story and the legend of, obviously, Grayskull and the characters and how He-Man gets power. A little background on some of the characters. And yes, it's little tweaks to things we've already known, but still stays to where we understand what's going on. So I'll let you guys go for a second.
Jeremy, I'll go ahead and guest first.
Well, yeah, go. Well, see, here's the thing: is when I got the link to the one you were doing, I got the one to that story inside the one with Horde Prime and all that stuff. So I caught up on that. So technically, I don't have the thing you sent me.
I gave you the wrong link.
Yeah, I believe
you
so.
shouldn't.
Well, I mean, I'm sitting on the couch, but yeah, I mean.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, wait.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. While we're doing this and while you're looking, at least you can read. I gotta go to Facebook. I gotta see. Did I do this? I feel like a moron.
So Jeremy, do you at least have the proper story in front of you right now?
That's what I'm actually getting on He-Man.org now, and I'm
way to go, Joe.
Yeah.
I couldn't have done this. Hold on, I gotta see. I'm trying to get. There's no way I can. Well, plus you can look right now. Wait, you can't see YouTube, can you?
No, I can't. I can't.
Are you?
Now. I might be able to if I got my iPad in front of me too, so I might be.
Yeah, you might have to go to YouTube, iPad, and then watch our show right now on YouTube.
Watch the show while I'm doing it with you.
I just want to see if I really linked that. I feel like a buffoon. I've done some stupid shit in my time, but.
No, it had that cover and stuff, but the comic story that was inside
there was a couple stories in there. Remember, there was two. I think there was two stories. So you just you didn't read the. Okay,
so I went with the one.
Way to go! Even though I said it in the message, I said read Legend of Grayskull. I did say that. I see that in my message.
Did you? Is that what happened?
Yep. Way to go! Way to go, Jeremy.
Yeah, we go, Jeremy.
Yeah, he.
Right, there it is. I can see
Jeremy sent me a message earlier today, and it says, "Quote: Hopefully, I don't ruin the show. Ha ha ha."
And I did.
I did.
See, so Joe did mess up. I sent him the right link. I gave him the name of that issue or the part of the story in the issue, and he read the other one. So,
yeah.
All right.
But hey, you know what? It was a good story. So.
Well, you know what's good? Now you're getting it really fresh for the first time, so you can sit there and look.
And what's great is if you listen to our show, Podcasters of the Universe, you realize that me and Steve are buffoons, and and that's what we do. We get into like mini comics and stuff, and we're like, I don't know any of this. So we figure it out as we go along. So really, this is just like, I'm really representing our half very, very well right now. So.
I'm gonna get something on my eye now. Some bitch. All right. Yeah, Happy Gilmore, when that caddy sat there and didn't warn him on, said, where were you on that one, dipshit? All right, well,
That's great.
Can you see this first page? Can you read it? Can you look at it and understand?
Yeah, I can see all of it. Yeah, it's wonderful. I love
Well,
it.
why don't you read? Read
Okay.
some of it for us.
Well, it starts off with the word Eternia.
Mm-hmm.
A planet many, many light years from our own galaxy. A planet which was once ruled by a noble and peaceful royal family who enforced honesty and justice for all. I like that. It's deep.
Right.
Over 5,000 years before He-Man would walk this world, a council of elders met to discuss how best to protect their world from the growing forces of evil. That's a nice design of that dude's hat too, by the way.
Wait, which one are you talking about? The ones that look
The
like
guy in
he's
the
just got
blue.
like solo cups on the side of his head?
Yeah, these guys are nuts, man. They look so weird. But it keeps going. Okay. Forging their mystic powers together through the cosmic crystal, they created a citadel to stand against the dark days approaching all Eternia. Castle Grayskull.
Yeah, I like how it just seems like they moved their fingers and then just like bam, a castle just like smashed into the ground.
Yeah, exactly. It's they had their own version of a Thanos snap, but it goes backwards and creates this crazy castle. So that's cute. It has extra spikes on it too, and I dig that. So yes, Castle Grayskull, a secret fortress which would remain hidden until Eternia's darkest moment. Behind its mighty walls lay all the secrets of the universe.
Ooh, and that's page 1. See, so you're getting a little origins there of how Castle Grayskull in this story was created. And you know, I almost think that Jeremy purposely did not read this story, because that's the thing on Podcasters of the Universe. He likes reading the mini comics and stuff. So I think this was his whole fucking plan, is like, well, if I don't read it, I can read it live on the show. I get the whole gimmick. Do you want us to take turns? Do you want Nathan to read the second fucking page and then I go to page 3? Did you want that?
This is your show, man.
No, you're taking over. You messed the whole thing up. Go, Nathan, why don't you read second page, since Jeremy just screwed up?
I don't want to infringe on their gimmick. I think if we're gonna do this, then he has to read the whole thing, because
that's your part of the show for being a guest to read the whole comic.
That's their gimmick, so I don't want
to. Not
to.
many pages either, so yeah. There's not many pages here, Jeremy.
We never intended for that to be our gimmick, for the record. We just started getting goofy and putting our own voices in. And all of a sudden, it just happened.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool and interesting way to liven up reading the mini comics, but obviously we can't do it on this show now, because everyone that listens to it is going to be like, oh, you guys just copied those other guys.
We'll just have an episode where all 4 of us are together and we can just read some together. It'll be excellent.
There you go. Well, keep going.
So you want me to keep going? All right.
Yeah.
All right. To ensure that the Fortress of Knowledge never falls into wrong hands, it is watched over by the sorceress of Castle Grayskull, who can transform herself at will into the Falcon of Force, Zoar. Falcon of Force, I love that.
You like that description, and you like the look. It's a little different look for Zoar there too, from, of course, comparing it to Filmation's design.
Yes.
You know, it's a little combination of a couple things there.
And just so Joe can understand, she turns into Foff. There we go. Turns into Foff.
What?
Oh, FOF, huh? I get it. See, he's playing with you on your POTU podcast, the POTU.
Yes. POTU, FOF, the Falcon of Force.
Keep going.
You're just going to have to get used to it one of these days. For centuries, the Cosmic Citadel protected its secrets from the rest of the universe, repelling but never harming all invaders. Castle Grayskull awaited the moment that had been foretold in legend. Now, who's that guy?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Does anyone know
just some
random guy?
It's a random guy. Yeah, somebody that must have wanted to go in the castle and then bam, got repelled from the
He
power.
looks like one of those knockoffs, like one of the knockoff figures.
He actually does look like a Remco. He looks like a Remco knockoff. I like the next page. Oh, you got a pretty sexy sorcerer. She's looking at Prince Adam without her blue parts on, unless that was a miscolored, because like I said, the coloring's all over. I don't know, so it might have just been.
Yes, I see this. Well, maybe that's what she dresses like when she sees hot Adam there.
She's like, wow.
It's like he honestly kind of looks like he's a little inebriated, and he's just looking at his muscles like, holy shit, like, look how jacked I am.
This guy's taking out the guns.
Yeah, there's that one.
Oh, yeah.
There's the other one.
Yeah, well, he got down, remember, in the early DC comics, so, this is, go ahead.
All right. When Prince Adam reached manhood, the sorceress knew that she had found the mortal she needed to protect Eternia. The sorceress knew that in Snake Mountain there now dwelt the essence of evil, or, oh yeah, for Joe, sorry, Skeletor. He had vowed to conquer Eternia and use it as his base to dominate the universe. If left unchecked, the living skeleton would destroy all that was right and just.
The coloring's weird. The coloring's weird on Skeletor right there, but actually, that might be one of my favorite pieces in this whole
I like
book.
that.
Cool. Yeah.
It's interesting the throne he's sitting on. I like that they added some fur to it, though. It looks a little bit more comfortable than the Filmation.
Yeah, bones sticking up his ass. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that they call him the living skeleton, though, because really, it's just a skull head. Unless he's wearing a blue suit, but
yeah,
all right.
Things that make you think, huh? But go ahead.
Hordak, who was once Skeletor's tutor, now controls the Fright Zone, a dimensional portal which links Eternia and the distant world of Etheria. Having been betrayed by Skeletor and stranded on an alien world, he has escaped and sworn vengeance on Skeletor. His search to find Skeletor has also shown him a new world to conquer, Eternia.
Got some crazy bug eyes, too.
Yeah,
there.
I was going to say, he looks very squished. And
his head doesn't seem to fit like the rest of his body, just like the coloring. It's interesting.
And I can't remember from the UK, again, from the first UK comic, I can't remember what pages were black and white. I almost thought these two pages were black and white originally, and I would have to see if somebody corrects me in the chat room, but I thought they were, which could explain some of the weird, goofy color choices later. So and Grimbot did mention that the Filmation Bone Throne does have fur too. Guess I never really looked too close. Well, he would know. He definitely would know. I guess I never really looked closely. Right. I don't know if it was that much fur, but he can correct me. But also, I'm hoping he corrects me on that color scheme because I'm convinced these were black.
I like how Joe referred to it as the Bone Throne. That's what I like to call That's what I like to call my bed.
I think it is the Bone Throne. There really is. I don't know shit, but I like that. I like it. Okay.
Well, like I've said before, you never come to me for the knowledge. I'm making this up as I go along. So
keep going.
One thing I do like, I have to point it out, I like the on his crossbow there. It actually has like a spiky end there, like he's actually going to shoot an arrow out of it.
Right, and the wrong color too, because they have it red when it should be white. But
it should be white. Yeah. All right. With the forces of evil massing for their attacks, the sorceress summons Man-at-Arms, a scientist and brave warrior, and instructs him to bring Prince Adam to Castle Grayskull. He's a scientist, is he? Good to know. The young prince is given the Sword of Power, and the secret knowledge of Grayskull is revealed to him whenever he holds the sword aloft and says, "By the power of Grayskull," an amazing transformation takes place. Magic and science convene to transform Prince Adam into the most powerful man in the universe. Using the name He-Man, he vows to use his newfound might to protect Eternia from the advances of evil. Gathering a group of the mightiest champions on Eternia around him, He-Man forms the Masters of the Universe. They pledge to defeat the twin threats of the evil warriors and the Horde.
God, is Stratos ugly. Can I say that again? God, I already hate him, but God, does he look horrible there.
Stratos hate you.
I'm kind of curious. Like, who's the... You only see...
Guy in back of neck?
Who is that?
I was like, are they trying to draw Clamp Champ? Because I couldn't tell. It was so small and minute. I was like, what? I can't tell who they were trying to draw. But either way, yeah, that Stratos is wretched. And he has one thick shield. He-Man has a very thick shield there.
Very thick shield, yeah. Other notable things, Fisto, of course, with the dark black. Looks very interesting, his hair color. Manny Faces? What's he doing?
I have no clue what's happening. This is one weird looking page. And when you think they would at least highlighted Fisto's main fist, it's like, I don't know. It's like, maybe
it blends in with his armor.
Maybe he got punched by Fisto. He did a drive-by punch or something like boom, and then his fist is right in his back or something. I have no clue what's happening.
Very weird.
All right, we'll get to the next pages in a second.
I do like the way Adam looks, though. I like that red. It reminds me of the the blue from the Alcala drawn comics, but in red.
Yeah. A weird colored sorceress next to him again. It's like nothing is consistent with the pages. So I think I really am convinced these were black and white pages, but here come the next ones.
Yeah, I want to say on this panel here with Skeletor, that is supposed to be Merman right there, right? In between Triclops and Trapjaw. That is supposed to be Merman. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
That is one.
I looked at that and I'm like, all right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That's unique. I mean, that looks like a whole brand new member of the Evil Warriors or something. I don't know. It looks like, was he maybe first trying to, because you see Leech down there, was he first going to draw Leech and, we better turn that into Merman, change the mouth, let's, that'll work. Like, they don't know what we're doing.
It's weird. Maybe that was the inspiration behind the toxic waste guy in RoboCop. I'm not sure.
Hey, good. But at least, like I said, the story, they're trying to give you a story to lead it up, which they did stay, consistent with, some liberties. But I'll let you continue.
Okay. Skeletor has also gathered a group of cohorts to aid him in his desire to conquer Eternia. Whilst they have immense power, their individual greed and unwillingness to help each other often lead to their defeat.
I like that. I like showing, in which we've seen that before. They have things among each other. Yeah.
It's like kids, you can be part of the evil people, but you're not going to have any fun. You're not going to be very consistent, and you're going to fail a lot.
Check out the dude at the bottom. After you read, you got to check out the dude at the bottom. I like it. It's weird. It's I don't know where the fuck the sword came from, but whatever. I don't
know. Okay. It says, so far, Hordak has not gathered his full force of Horde members around him. Already, he has proven himself to be one of the most titanic threats to strike Eternia.
But isn't this sort of like almost his full force? Like, we don't have the troopers, but that's pretty much the Horde, right?
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, later, I guess they didn't give us Dragsaur, Mosquitosaur, and some of the others. But you're right. That's pretty much at least the main ones. Poor Mantenna just hiding in the background. But I did like
just peeking
over your cape. Peeking over the bat on his arm or something. But I do like that Modulok is kind of more toy-like with, again, some other extra liberties and the guns. But every time I looked, I was like, what is that sword? I had no clue what that meant. So I don't know. Guess we'll pass to the next page. But otherwise, interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Orko is an alien magician from the strange land of Trala, a world which exists in the astral zone. In his homeland, he was a great wizard, but he has lost much of his power in this new world. On Eternia, he can only manage simple spells, which often go wrong for him.
That's accurate.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Besides the sorceress who granted Prince Adam his amazing powers, only Man-at-Arms and Orko know that the prince is really He-Man. To protect his secret, Prince Adam often pretends to be lazy and slightly cowardly, so that people will not suspect who he really is. That's fairly true. I'd say that's spot on. The Masters of the Universe live in the royal palace of Eterno City. It is from here that most of their adventures begin, but our champions never know where they will end. That's a totally brand new palace for us. Yes.
Well, I mean, there's something similar you could say in some of the Fred Carrillo stuff. Remember when they did that? I think they did in a couple books and that giant book that the palace looked different. But either way, yeah, it's different. Yeah.
I guess maybe just because the Filmation one has become kind of the iconic.
Oh,
version,
sure, that's ingrained in
so,
everybody's head. Oh, yeah, agreed.
All right, come with us now into the world of Eternia and fight alongside He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. By the power of Grayskull, I am the power.
That's right. He is. I am the power, and that's been said in another couple books here and there. So they didn't do the I am, but that's it. So that is that story. But what you got there was a basic telling of the origin of Castle Grayskull, about this warrior that was destined to become the savior and the one that protects Castle Grayskull, the evil warriors who are wanting to take over, some of the good guys, which, like I said, if they were to ever do a movie, and we wouldn't need a whole damn origin thing, you could basically give in a prologue thing at the beginning, say what they did there. You know what I mean? It gets everything said, done, bam, you get into the action, and we can have an awesome movie. But aside from some of the crazy coloring and stuff, it was a good story. But what is your initial thought after reading that, Jeremy, and then even for Nathan? But I just wanted, your thoughts on it, because it's different.
I wanted to say really quick that I put up here as well. If you want to join the Master of the Universe Club, put that up there. You can fill that out and mail it away.
Can I just say that the art on that is super awesome?
It's different too.
I love all these different takes of the art. It's just fun to find all those.
Sure.
It's not too far from what we kind of know already, I suppose. The fact that they're not going to do anything with She-Ra in there, but that they do sort of, mention, Hordak being in the Master's side to me is always really cool. I like that the She-Ra stuff happened, the cartoon and all that stuff with Hordak and the evil horde and all that. I realize that that's where he had to be, but I just love this with him being in those stories, in the Master's stories. There's not too much different to where it throws me off, but I do kind of wonder where the I am the power comes from.
Well, what's funny, and again, I've got to remember some of the stories. I don't know if it was a Golden Book or where. I know I've seen that I am the power in some of the early stories here in the United States. I'm going to have to go through and look unless Grimbot can get it for me. I know he might have it right in his head, but I know I've seen that because I used to mock it saying, I am the power. What are they talking about? It always drove me nuts. And then I seen it here and it just didn't bug me because I was like, well, I've seen it before. It's a weird little error, but I know it was in a story here in the United States. I just can't remember which one now, and that pisses me off.
And I am curious where the Falcon of Force comes from. I mean, obviously the toy kind of had a more aggressive, armor with like missiles or whatever on it. But I mean, it's just so intense because it's not what you're used to when it comes to Zoar. She's very, it's just a bird, in the cartoon.
Well, I mean, it's, some of the early stories, like the DC stuff and even some of that Golden Book stuff, even the record stuff, they had quite a description of, Zoar. Yeah. So they're probably like they're throwing some of that early stuff and combining with the source, just doing a little mixture probably of both of them. But there's unique looks. I mean, there's definitely some unique looks there. Some were cool, some were really odd, but
the cool looks. Obviously, you're talking about Stratos, right? Your favorite character in Masters.
God, does he look? I mean, he looks horrible. I wonder what people in the chat room thought, but God, did that look terrible? Him and her, man. I don't get it. And like
Stratos is your guy. You're getting kind of.
Just can't help it. In the cartoon, I guess in Filmation's cartoon, I liked him. He was okay, and maybe some of the comics, but God, did I hate the toy. Just hated the toy. Just so worthless.
He never had a weapon, man.
No weapon. And that's the thing. For kids, you got to kind of, play with our minds and say, hey, look, it's something. You feel like you're battling. I just would go in the air like, ooh, he's flying, and just throw. I'd never want to play with that damn figure. Even Zodak sucked, but I was like, well, at least he has a gun, and I could picture he's going pew, pew.
Right.
Stratos was like, I couldn't keep...
They went above and beyond when they put out Buzz Off because boom, he's got these huge wings and he's got a club, so you're pretty much, they overdid it. Boom, this guy's way better.
He just, because I was like, well, this to me was the superior flying guy. Look at the cool wings that you can pose around. He's got a removable helmet. He's got his crazy looking claws that look wicked. And then you're right. Then he has a club which never really stuck in his hand. So I don't know. But either way, yeah, Buzz Off was good. But Stratos just, I think a weapon could have helped him possibly. But yeah, him and Zodak were probably my least played with figures back then. But otherwise, you enjoyed the story. It was different. Like I said, it was a good story. The art some parts could be left to be desired, but otherwise, it's a good introduction to those who maybe want to know a little bit about Masters of the Universe and where to go with it.
I mean,
if they want to do
imagine reading that as a kid, and if I were to see that on a shelf and read it, I would probably be pretty amped up after reading, be like, holy shit, this is really cool. So a job well done. Some of the design choices a little iffy, but overall, like a fun little origin story, as it were.
And now you better get ready, Jeremy, because now we're going to pass it to the chat room. Any questions you have for us and Jeremy, be sure to do it right now. And while you're getting ready to type them out, I'll see some of the things that you guys were saying right here in the chat room just to get ready. But I picked up right now where it said Ali Ox. Ali Ox said, I was totally part of the UK fan club. Twas awesome. Well, that's pretty cool because, yeah, it's obviously something we never knew about here in the United States, and I know that fan club got a lot of cool shit in the mail. They got a lot of nice freebies for being in the fan club. Wish I could have some of that stuff. You still look on eBay; it's super expensive for some of it. But Gary Buchanan said, "Who's the other bird, Screech?" I'll be honest; I didn't even know if they showed Screech in this comic. If they did, I must have missed.
I missed it. I definitely didn't see Screech.
Yeah, I guess I completely missed it. But DJ Tags. Oh, and Fedmon's here. So, because Fedmon said Gary, that is Screech. But thank you for joining us, Fedmon. DJ Tags is here with us and says Stratos is the best one ever. No, but I will say, DJ Tags, I like what you've been showing in our Fans of Power Facebook group. He got the Mega Constructs Castle Grayskull he's been putting together, and it's coming together quite nice. It looks really cool. So, and I know that's going.
That's going down. It's getting pretty cheap. It's almost to where I might even throw a few bucks.
I was actually going to say the same thing because my parents, they got me that 5-pack and then the Wind Raider like last year, and I went into Walmart over the weekend and got the ones that had who we have in that one: Stratos, Mossman, Prince Adam, and Evil Lyn were the ones that you could get. And so there's also another Skeletor in there. And I was like, yeah, well, I may as well just get the rest and maybe get Grayskull if that gets cheap enough, because that price point for me right now is still too much.
I knew it'd go down.
Yeah,
we knew it'd take a while, but I'm sure it'll still go cheaper. I couldn't remember for around Christmas time when they were having some of those big sales. I don't know if Amazon or where, but I thought some people were seeing them for $99. So, I mean, it's a hell of a price drop, but I bet it even goes cheaper. But yeah,
it's at least half off of what it was when it first came out. And I feel bad for all those people that were like, I need it now, and they spent all that money.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
just always be. That's what I tell people if you can, because I know that's your impulse. It's impulse buying. You want to be the first person to have it, or you just want it. And hell, if people got the money, more power to them.
Well,
for sure, absolutely.
But part of it too is you want to just go ahead and get it or find it in the store if you can. That way you don't have to pay the eBay scalper price.
Yeah, yep.
Because
collecting's a tricky thing. You see the stuff right in front of you. You want to get it now because you never know if it's going to be there again. But then sometimes that stuff's still on shelves 2 years later or whatever.
It's a huge gamble. I already saw a question for Jeremy in the chat, but I did want to read a couple of the comments that we got on last week's video. From Descendants of Grayskull. Was the William Stout deal exclusive to Super 7? Because from previous interviews, Stout didn't want to deal with Mattel, thus the reason the figures never came out 30 years ago. If they are exclusive to Super 7, then surely they can complete the collection without Mattel's permission.
Well, I mean, I don't think Super 7 is going to... I would just like to say I don't think they'd be done. Like, let's say if they get back into doing some more of the 6-inch figures for Masters of the Universe, then I think hopefully with being able to have those rights and work with them, maybe they could get more figures from that movie. Because you're right, there was some issue, which we won't get into, but there was an issue with Mattel, William Stout, and all that, and that's why you were never getting any of those other movie figures. But
and I just got to say, Super 7 gets a lot of crap, and I have kind of given them a little bit too when they first especially started producing those figures, any of the figures that they did. for Masters. But I mean, they really hit their stride, and those William Staub collection figures are
Everybody said it. I mean, Nathan has them.
Beautiful.
I mean, you have them too, Nathan,
Yes,
right?
yeah, I got those in the mail last week. Got them on the shelf right here. Beautiful.
Yeah, and everybody go ahead.
And I'd say, and thanks to Super 7 for that, because Mattel never would have gotten us those figures. So, I mean,
it's like fate. Things do happen for a reason. It's like there's a reason somehow that happened. Because if Super 7 never got involved, you would have never had these movie figures. But you're right. I give it to Super 7. That is the first figures they put out that I didn't see anybody complain about. They're like, damn, they look good. And they did. Mm-hmm. They didn't. Yep. You weren't hearing about breakage issues, not too much of that weird shiny plastic crap or weird goofy crooked eye paint apps.
Yeah.
It seemed
like
almost
they hit their stride at the very end.
At the end. Well, hell, what a way to end it, though. But you never know.
Go out with a bang, right?
Yep. It would be cool to see if they did more. But all right, if you want to get to more of the questions, and I'll remember where to pick up in the chat room.
Well, the only other one I really wanted to read in here was from Blue Haired Lawyer. I wanted to like the MOTU comic so much, and I'm very glad I didn't waste time or money on it. I appreciate you guys doing the review. And here's the questions part of it. How do you think they will handle Ram Man in the Origins line? Working legs with knee articulation, classic spring legs, or something different? Do you think Mattel will make a retail version of Blue Vest Adam in the Origins line?
It'd be nice if they make a Blue Vest version. As for Ram Man, I would like action features. See, this is one thing I don't think has really been addressed. Will the Origins line include action features? Because we know that, of course, Classics figures, they said they wouldn't do it because they said this is a specialty line. They don't want to put all the extra tooling into it. It costs too much. They couldn't do it, really. And they said, and a lot of people, they said, well, adults just want to pose him. They don't care about action features. But it would be interesting if he had a spring thing, but I don't know if they will, but maybe they will try to make him look closer to that, the back, the card back design, the 8-back stuff, the one that we never got, which we got in Classics, but not for the vintage figure, which looks so goofy to me. I hated his look, but it'd be nice to look closer to that, and maybe did have a little posability, but
it seems like, from what I'm seeing anyway, like retail Origins, I feel like they're sort of hovering more around early toys / cartoon, possibly. Like, I think that the 2-pack with the Atom and the He-Man that came out last year, I think that's probably the only version of that Atom we're going to get. I think at this point they're probably going to put out either maroon or pink vest, I would assume anyway.
I'm sure they will too. It'd still be cool if they did give the blue vest for an option.
Sure.
People did want that, so you never know. But I know
that's my favorite Atom. So
yeah, the 2-pack did have a cool box art with Axel Jimenez, and it was a nice little thing they did there. But yeah, we won't get the 2-pack no more. But possibly the figure from that 2-pack, if they single carded, would be great. And as for him talking about the comic series, so far, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, somebody can always correct me. From issue 1 to issue 2 of Masters of the Multiverse, that has been, I think, one of their biggest drops from an issue 1 to an issue 2 in any of their series runs of their modern stuff so far from DC. I think because it went from just over 29,000 for issue 1 to just over 17,000 for issue 2. It had a hell of a drop.
Well deserved.
That's a big.
Well deserved.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it continues. I don't want to have a heart attack in issue 4 when Jesus Christ.
I can't wait for that one.
I heard your little blow up last time. It was pretty cute.
Yeah, it did. I couldn't believe it. That was great. Oh, Jesus. But it just happened. But all right, let me see. Back to the chat. Fedmon said, Joe Modulak is holding what looks like Jitsu sword. I guess you could kind of say that, but I still don't know what the hell he has it for. Papa Hud said, Amato quit sleeping on Stratos, bro. Well, I just hate him. I can't stand him. Adam Gabbert said, Jeremy, nice beard. Do you like Masters of the Universe classic figures? And if so, what's your favorite for male and female?
I love classics figures. I started a little late to the game, but I've been trying to catch up on the ones that I missed. My favorite classics figure. This always changes, but I would have to say probably I love what they did with Scareglow. I think he looks really, really cool. Female-wise, I probably it's simple, but Evil Lynn and the 2000X version of Evil Lynn looking that.
How do you like it? Display with her white hair then?
Yeah, I mean, I just think I don't know, she looks really cool. And I like what they did all with the classic stuff, 2000X stuff and like New Adventures, and they put them all in those bucks,
Sure.
you know. And I just think they looked awesome. So
Yeah, they do all work
yeah,
well
good
together.
stuff.
So yeah,
I mean, and that's
All
just
right.
off the top of my head. That could change next week, but
No,
right now,
I
that's
know,
how I
I know.
feel.
That can happen, definitely. Papa Hud said, "Any vehicle customs you working on, Joe?" Some beasts, but the vehicle is something that'll be coming up soon, but that's for a customer. And back at me, you guys can't really see this, but this week you'll be seeing what I'm pointing to. Well, let me point up higher. Looks like I'm pointing.
Yeah, I was going to say, ouch.
Here, I'll
like I'm pointing.
I'll adjust it a little bit so they can actually. I'll just shift you over that way they can see. There you go, Joe.
Oh,
There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll shift
well,
it over.
there. Then good. You guys didn't see when I was poking him in his nuts or something. So up here, this guy will be debuting this week, and he's a big sumbitch. But wait till you see who he is. It's gonna be interesting. Can't wait to finish him up. I know looking at him right now, it doesn't look like it makes any sense, but it's blurry. But that's my video quality, and it's a distance. So, but thank you for that, Pop Huds. DJ Tag says, just wait till I add the WWE ring. So, I think he's meaning for his figures. Those maybe the WWE Masters of the WWE Universe. Maybe, I don't know. But we'll have to see. He might correct me. Ali said, was Modulok the original human centipede? Hey, Ali, maybe. I don't know. I thought that's kind of freaked me out. DJ did get his Mega Constructs Castle Grayskull for $210 free shipping. Well, at least you got some free shipping. That's a hell of a big price. Femon said, did anyone ever thought it was weird that TBS aired the 87 movie almost every Sunday in the 90s? I'll be honest, I didn't know they did that. Do you guys remember them doing the movie like that?
I don't.
Not at all.
I'm sure in the 90s, given what period it was in the 90s, I was either watching like sports or professional wrestling. So I never caught, unless they did it for like advertising it on Thunder. WCW Thunder. It's like, oh, check out Sunday movies for guys who like movies. We're gonna do the '87
Right.
Masters of the Universe film. No, I don't recall ever seeing advertisements for it at all.
I don't remember watching Thunder that much either. But all right, DJ Tags said Scott is enjoying the show. Say hi to him. Hello, Scott. Hope you're enjoying the show, and hope your dad's been plugging your ears anytime I might lose. Like, hey, you didn't hear that, Scott.
I hope Scott has learned a plethora of 4-letter words thanks to us.
He probably is. And Savannah. And I hope Savannah is somewhat older than Scott, because I'd feel bad if she's younger and she's hearing them bad words. But like they said, it's all fun. I'm not doing anything too bad. And okay, Fedmon, DJ Tags is Scott. Oh wait, was talking. Is Scott talking yet? That's his first 4-letter word. Darth Baka said, "Hey Joe, do you think we will get a good Masters of the Universe video game for home systems?" I would love that. I mean, again, if the cartoons are successful and the toys are successful, you can always hope for a great either maybe adventure game or a good fighting game. Either of those are, I think, pretty good categories. If you had a fighting game, whether it was a side-scrolling beat 'em up or just one-on-one like a Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, or a nice role-playing game, I think those would both be great. I don't know what you'd prefer, Jeremy, because I know you like some games. You're not really good at them, but I know you like them.
Hey, welcome to the club, Jeremy.
Yeah, I have an immense passion for video games, but my skill is only so far. I've watched Joe in action; it's unbelievable.
Oh, come on!
I'll give you that
don't
much,
why
sir.
did you do that?
His Ghosts. I
Thank
watched
you.
him literally play Ghosts and Goblins like without dying, and he beat. Like I was like, I can't believe you.
Yeah, because he couldn't get off. I think of the first.
play.
I was like, "Come on, Jeremy! Like, at least get off the first damn stage." And there was a part he kept down. I was like, "God damn it!" So I was like, "Here, watch me." But I'm not an asshole. I'm not arrogant. That's
No,
just
not at all.
No.
Joe's a good guy. He's not a mob boss or anything. No.
He has changed so much. I've known Joe for a long time now, and I've been talking to him for years. He used to just be so like, "Yeah, how's it going?" I mean, he's real excited like he is, but now he's just on fire, man. Like, blah. Like, geez, Joe, you aggressive bastard.
Yeah, it's like,
I know.
Hey, Joe, how's it going? Fuck you.
Yeah. Right. I was like, oh, so that's where we're at now.
That's
Fair
it.
enough.
That's when you know you're close friends with somebody where you can do that. So
For
yeah.
sure. Yeah, as far as the video games go, though, I mean, yeah, Masters lends itself to pretty much any type of game. So I'm in regardless if they're making more. So
I mean,
Okay.
we'll get Tappers of the Universe too. That's probably the best they'll do.
Sweet Jesus. And that's the thing. I hate that character in that comic. I hate him. Even though I've said before, when I was playing Tappers of Tappers of Grayskull, at one point when they'd have their tournaments.
Tappers of Grayskull, my bad.
Yeah, Tappers of Grayskull, when they were doing tournaments, I was at the top in a ton of those tournaments, and I screenshot it, I put it in, and I was like being like, hey, look what I did on Facebook to be that prick.
You're just really good at moving your right hand really fast?
Yeah, that's right.
Wait, hang on, he's gotta grab something.
Yeah, exactly. But otherwise, hate the character in the comic. Zen Brown said, I broke the internet last week with my intensity. Yeah, I pretty much thought I did. Papa Hud said, Zen Brown. Oh, yes, I agree. Oh, yeah, definitely. DJ Tag said, is Easy E going to be ready? You're going to see him this week. So, yeah, because I showed that preview and that tease. I had a little detail, so you'll see him. He says he has a Lego WWE ring to go with the Mega Constructs figures as the WWE.
Right.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know that they had a Lego one. So I guess that's where. All right. Adam Gabbard said Kung Fu came with He-Man that I heard of.
Yeah, the NES game that was modded, Kung Fu.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
I believe Eric Amon's the one who sent that to me. That was that awesome Nintendo game with Kung Fu, but Masters of the Universe. They did a good job.
The one that really kicked ass is the one, it's only available online, where it's all based on the Filmation designs. You can even be like Lion-O in it and stuff. Like, so you
there's
just beat them up.
Of those. Yeah, there's two. There's one. There's the beat 'em up, but then they have that other Filmation one, which is a side scroller, and it's like a Final Fight style one. So a couple cool ones online for fans. Gary Buchanan said, "Put He-Man on Mortal Kombat." No, I just meant like style 1-on-1. Fedmon said, "Joe, if." Oh boy. Okay. Well, see, Fedmon, you say shit like this, and of course he said, "Joe, if they offered you a speaking role on Netflix, She-Ra, would you take it?" See?
Oh, hell yeah, he would.
It's his favorite show of all time.
Isn't that terrible? It'd make me sound like the biggest hypocrite in the world because I hate that fucking cartoon. But I mean, if they'd offer me money, like sure, I could. Hopefully, if they would allow me, I'd still shit on the show.
Dude? You would do it if you didn't even get paid.
Yeah.
Just so you could go,
if they made me, let me do modular.
Yeah, they'd be like, we will offer you a hot dog and a handshake. Joe's like, free food? Yes, I'm in.
Oh, yeah. That's all it don't take much to get Joe on your side. You give me some food and I'm happy.
That's how quick he can turn on people. You know, it's like I'm loyal to you. Some other random guy walks up with a corn dog. Hey, you want this? And then he just punches you in the face and goes and hangs out.
Yes, exactly.
I'm shitting all over the She-Ra to their face. I'm cussing them out, and you're right there like, want this Popeye's chicken? Sure, I'll do the roll. What you want me to say now? I said, he didn't do the roll. Because that's it. Grimbot, that was crazy. Before the show premiered, he wanted to show how easy it was to, I guess, mess with, I think it was IMDb. I knew nothing about this. He had it up there for weeks, and then I was getting all these messages saying, Joe, you're doing the voice of Modulok in the new She-Ra cartoon? I was like, what are you talking about? And that's when Grim let me know. He's like, go to IMDb and look at She-Ra Netflix and look at the cast and all the voices. And sure enough, it said Joe Amato as the voice of Modulok. I was like, what? And it's because there's a Joe Amato in Hollywood that's a comedian, I think. So he used this guy's face, and everybody said, hey, that's what you look like too. It's like, no, that's not me. But
no, that's not me. No. You did voice Modulok once, though, and that was on one of our mini comics.
I did. You're right. I tried to make weird voices for everyone. And remember, I even did the third voice, which was the ass, because he was talking out of his ass. And I said, and I used my voice. I said, because people say I talk out of my ass, so I talked normal. I was doing weird voices, and then I said my voice.
Like I just always suspected that if Joe was going to do any sort of voice for a voiceover role, it would be his trick-or-treating voice when he goes out still. Yeah. To trick or treat. Trick or treat. Yeah. I figured that.
Oh, that's free candy. Hunch, do a quick little walk, go up there quick. That is free candy. Who would pass up free candy?
Joe.
Let me see.
Joe.
DJ Tag. Let's see. DJ Tags. The castle and ring fit with the inside of the castle. Oh, I didn't know that. So that's cool. Make sure you post pictures in our Facebook page. Zen Brown said He-Man needs to be with Soul Calibur. That'd be cool. I think I even I think I've seen fans do when they were doing creative characters, did that for Soul Calibur with some He-Man, Skeletor, and of course they love doing it with wrestling. Good DJ Tags, that makes me feel better, said Savannah's 13, it's his oldest, so good. She's heard words like this plenty, so I don't feel bad. I'd feel bad if it was like a 5-year-old girl here and all those F-bombs dropped. Oh wait, Fedmon said same question to Nathan and Jeremy about a Netflix She-Ra voice role. What you guys do?
Yeah, because it does come with a payday, so that would be all right. I mean, you got to start somewhere, right?
Absolutely.
We could be ashamed. We could be ashamed of it later on down the road.
Yeah. It's better to regret something you did than something you didn't do.
Exactly.
I would definitely do it. I wasn't like, I don't hate the new She-Ra, but I kind of just lost interest season and a half in. But I mean, they offered me a role. I'd be on that in a second. No shame. I'd be posting that everywhere. Guess who I am?
Right.
Exactly. He's bitching out for everything. Look what I did. Look what Hank did. Every single thing.
I'd start cosplaying and everything.
I wouldn't put it past you. Let's see. Grimbot said he would have done the voice, but they would have removed him from IMDb. Yeah, they probably would have, Grimbot. Lacey Dean said, awesome, Jeremy is here. So, yeah, I guess Lacey. Awesome. So, Widely Collector. So, are all of you heading to PowerCon this year? I know Jeremy will be there, so Widely Collector said that. So Jeremy's going to be there?
And we're going to be there as well, because Val Staples has already paid for our hotel and our plane ticket, and we'll be there. Oh, at least that's what I've heard anyway.
Well, the thing is, if I can't make Nathan still has to represent fans of Power. If I can't make it, Nathan still would. So
what Joe is saying right there is, I'm not going to make it.
I ain't going to be there.
Joe's not going to go, you guys. Come on. I've been talking to you about this for years, and this will be my third year going in a row, and it's so awesome. It's so fun. You got to go once.
It does look like a blast. I agree. So you never know. Someday, and someday means not going to happen.
It means never, but yeah.
August 8th and 9th.
Yeah. So Nate, you're going?
Well, hey, I mean, Val's already paid my way. At least that's what I've heard.
Oh,
this is gonna be my gag every week. In all seriousness,
Val can pay my way.
In all seriousness, though, I would like to. It would be a lot of fun. I've never been out to California, period. Anyway, it would be nice to just see all the good things I've heard about. Actually, meet people in person, such as yourself and Danielle and E-Talk and everybody. It would be cool to just hang out with them.
That's the craziest thing, man.
Yeah, buy them drinks, get really drunk with them.
Yeah,
that would be.
That's just it. Like sitting around, like last year, it was like me and Tom Brisky and James E-Talk and like a bunch of other people. We're all just like sitting around by the pool getting drunk, just laughing. Right. It's like, how cool is that?
I would love to do it, so hopefully I can. I can't make any promises. I got to see how things kind of pan out work-wise and where we're at the closer we get to it. But I would definitely like to show up there. Grim 2 also asked, I think this is more specifically, obviously, for Jeremy, since he has confirmed that he will be going. Will you be doing podcasts at PowerCon?
Usually we plan to. We bring like our live mic and stuff like that. Like, I think we just did a little bit last year in the hotel room as we did the year before, but it's really good for getting like interviews with people and stuff like that. And the Four Horsemen and stuff like that. They're always really willing to sit down and chat with you. And, so we intend to at some point. I don't know exactly in what context or whatever, but we'll record something.
And if I do make it out there, maybe we can talk Val into sort of putting us all together and letting us have like a panel or something.
I would love it. And I don't a couple of years ago, before I went to the first one, he had actually mentioned something about a possibility of a podcasters forum there for everybody and panel, and it just didn't pan out. I would have been like the only guy, so it would have been lame. They'd be like, who the hell is this bearded fat bastard up here? He doesn't even know what he's talking about.
It could happen, like you said. Yeah, if Nathan, like I said, did come, I mean, it would be awesome. At least, like I said, you guys could both be together, and maybe if Steve was there too. But I don't. Yep. It's all to me.
It would take like an act of God to probably get Joe there. I figure what I'll do is just get like a blow up doll and put a Modulok mask on it and just carry it around with
That's
me.
It. Or like Fedmon. Fedmon even said they could always do a body double for Joe because of the mask. No one would know at PowerCon.
Yeah, right.
Like, I
mean, you could go and just not wear the mask,
exactly.
and then people would never know it was you anyway.
That would, and you know, that's the thing is, it always does look like a blast. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say, I went to PowerCon and boy, did that suck. It's never really happened. And even people that maybe don't get along, that's the thing. When it's the He-Man community, it seems like everybody is always so cool with each other. And you feel like you speak so much with these people on Facebook and other social media, but you feel like family and friends, feel like you already met them. And it's cool when you have that amount of things in common with somebody. It's not like you're going to somewhere strange and nobody likes what you like. Everybody's there because of Masters of the Universe, Princess of Power, New Adventures, whatever it may be, and they can all enjoy their passions together. That's what makes it look great, and that's why it is great when people get together with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the best times I've had so far. So
yeah, and that's cool. And Lacey Dean said it'd be a blast. Zentron said I got a cell of Lady Voltrina or Elanra from James on Sunday. So, James had a lot of good things he was selling last week. I know he's going to have more coming up, so keep your eyes peeled because James Etok will be selling up some more great sales. And I know he usually does, like Real Ghostbusters, Masters of the Universe, Princess of Power. He's had some stuff where it was Transformers, so he's got a lot of goodies.
A lot of good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and let's see, DJ Tags, he really loves his damn Lego stuff because he said he was even doing a Lord of the Rings play set, and and now we'll probably have to almost get off here because don't say nothing down in the chat about that damn Royal Rumble with the men's. Don't say no shit. Oh, and he even said it, Fans of Power, which is Nathan posted, he was like, don't spoil anything for me, Tags. So, well, that's it. That's pretty much all the questions there, but Jeremy, is there anything you'd like to promote, beyond, obviously, your podcast, any of your art pages, something you want to do before we get off here?
Because Jeremy's a busy dude. He's doing the podcast. He's got another show that he does. He's got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah,
pimp all your stuff.
Well, all right. Let me see here.
Okay, that's enough. All right. Until next time. Have a powerful day.
See ya. Yeah, obviously the podcasters of the universe. We're everywhere. Find us on the internet and stuff. I do have an art page just called The Art of Jeremy DeWitt. If you want to see any mediocre drawings or
Deviant
art. I do a live,
really good stuff.
Yeah, it's okay. I do a live talk show once a month on Muskegon, Muskegon channel.com. It is called Muskegon Tonight. It's just a local thing for my town, so you probably wouldn't be interested whatsoever. But
can we see it on YouTube or anywhere? Could we see it on the internet?
If you go on to MuskegonChannel.com, it does have links and stuff to those things. So I believe that there is one on YouTube, but I don't run it, so I don't really know what it's called.
I'll get post-show, I'll get all the links. I'll get you to send me that stuff, and I'll put it in the description down below. That way people know where to go to find all this stuff.
Cool. And, of course, you can just find me and talk to me. I'll chat with you. I'm fun.
It's usually pretty uneventful. Yeah, exactly. But no, it was great having you on, Jeremy. We appreciate it. I mean, if it wasn't for Nathan, I would have never invited you on the show. So
I'm very, very well aware of that.
Really thank Nathan for that shit. But now I'll see what I say to everybody here. It was a blast. It was a blast having you guys here in the chat room. Hope you enjoyed it. And anybody new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and ring that bell so you can always get notified when we do go live. And until next time, have a powerful day.
I don't have any wrestling related trivia this weekend. I kind of blew it on there, and I didn't even come up with anything off the top of my head. So yeah, we hope it.
Wait, Andy.
I want to thank. Shut up, Joe. I want to thank Jeremy for joining us. It's been a blast. It was a lot of fun. We'll have to do this again sometime soon. I'm sure Joe will be like, "Hey, never again." But I want him back on the show.
It'd be cool if you could get me and Steve, and then have like the full 4 of us round table. I think it'd be great.
Well, how about we'll plan on that. Next time you're on the show, we'll have Steve with you too, and it'll be a 4-person show.
He's fun, so.
How about we don't plan on certain things, though, because we know he's going to fucking forget just like he did at the beginning, so everybody's going to have to be right on the spot. Hey, you want me to read this? Oh, wait, that's a link. Oh, shit, I did have the right link. I fucked up. Sorry.
I went over that whole other comic like, yeah, this is really neat. We'll talk about this. I'm ready to go.
Son of a bitch. All right. See you guys next time.